Hello again, Dinky Danny here. Today I was out at the thrift store and I found something that was awesome. I never expected to run into this out at the thrift store. So let's take a look at what it is. First of all, here you're looking at this board game called 13 Dead End Drive. I walked into the thrift store and I had never played this board game before, and my friend that I was with, we were just out eating lunch and stopped in the thrift store. He said this is a really fun game. He hadn't played it since he was a kid. So I went in, picked this up for 99 cents. And normally when I walk into the thrift store, there's a big section out in the front where they have a glass, it's behind glass windows. And normally when you go into the thrift store, it's behind the counter. So if you want to see the stuff back there, you have to ask the people. They bring it up to the counter and then they show you what it is. So I walked into the thrift store, didn't see anything in the windows. Walked around the thrift store for about 15-20 minutes. Ended up seeing this 13 Dead End Drive. Figured I'll pick it up, see how it is. And as I was leaving the thrift store, I almost missed this deal. I saw it in the corner of the front windows. And I couldn't even believe that it was sitting there. So let's take a look at what I found at the thrift store. I found a boxed Magnavox Odyssey. Now, a lot of you, I don't know if you all know what this is. I didn't know what it was up until a little while ago. I pulled this up and I saw all this stuff sitting there. So I had to ask the lady at the counter. I said, hey, can I take a look at all this stuff? She pulled it up. This game system was released in 1972. So first looking at that, the Nintendo came out in the mid-80s. So even Atari was 78 and 79, maybe 77 I think for the heavy sixer. So to see something from 1972, I was just amazed that it's in such good condition. It has all the boxes and everything. So the story behind this system is Ralph Baer. He's known almost as the father of video games. He created a video game console, the very first video game ever made, out of a wooden brown box. And he just ran wires through the system, and it's called the brown box. They have it on display at the Smithsonian Museum, and it was the first video game ever created. And it turns out that the system that he ended up designing is this Magnavox Odyssey. So it's the first home console ever. And I was reading up a little bit on it. I knew it was the first home console, but after researching it a little bit more, I found that there were only 300,000 of these made, and who knows how many of them are still working. So it was really cool to find this one in such great shape, and I brought it home and it does still work. And the thing that's pretty interesting about it is Atari ended up getting sued by Magnavox because they tried to steal ideas from this system. And the system that they ended up creating 5 or so years down the road was PONG. And usually if you ask anybody what was the first video game system, everybody always says that it was PONG. But the truth is that it's this Magnavox Odyssey released in 1972. So I was really excited to see this. I got it at the thrift store for an incredible steal. And just really excited to have it. Even the games, they're in perfect condition. The boxes are practically brand new. Like here, I'll show you, I think in this Invasion, the boxes are like impeccable shape. They have a little bit of wear just up along the corners, but for 1972, it's remarkable to see something like this. And even looking inside the game box, look at the stuff as I pulled these out. I took a look before I bought it. This looks like it's never even been used. Everything's still wrapped perfectly. Here's the overlay. When you play the game, it's so old that it didn't have graphics of its own. It was only black and white. So what you would have to do is you'd have to take these overlays and you put them on your TV. And also, you would play with like cards that they have here. Here's 1 chest of gold, 7 chests of gold. So you play with these cards. And then also, I didn't even open this up. You can hear in there as I rattle it, there are a bunch of board game pieces. So it's almost just like you're playing a board game with the assistance of the Magnavox Odyssey. And to top that off even, you've actually got a board game that you would play along with this. So you have the board right there. And it seriously looks like this thing has never been touched. So I'm really looking forward to you know, hooking this thing up and playing it. You know, my friend was really excited to try it out, and it's just gonna be something really cool to have in my collection. The first home console ever. In 1 second, let me grab one more thing. Ralph Baer, the guy that I said created this, an interesting fact about him, he actually left Magnavox, and what he ended up creating is something else that I got at the thrift store like 2 weeks ago, and it's the original Simon. So everyone knows Simon Says, and I got this one for $5 at a flea market. So pretty cool. I have all this stuff that Ralph Baer made, and just to have the original first home console in my collection, especially with a box and in such nice condition, is just really exciting for me. So figured I'd put up a video, show you guys what I got, and I'm Dinky Dana. Thanks for watching.